be back. It's good to have you on the phone, Lee. I'm Eddie Reese. Of course, you know Chris Hobbs right here to my right. It's good to have you on the show.
Hey, thanks, guys. Enjoy being here.
Hey Lee, I know you're kind of down today. You're having the every fisherman's nightmare. So I know, and this is something we that we need to touch on based on equipment that we talked about last week. Was when you do have problems with your boat.
It's something that none of us really like to talk about or thinking about, but if you're going to be on the water, and especially as much as I am, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's just when. And hopefully with me, it's not going to be anything major. And, this is one of those times I'm kind of glad I got two boats right now, so I can still get out there this afternoon, even if we don't get things back on running on my big boat. But, yeah, it's one of the things that, thank goodness that we've got several good marinas around this area that, and some people that can look at it. And I don't know how to fix them. I know how to tear them up, but I can get them to somebody that can fix them.
Yeah, I know it, and thing about owning a boat is it's expensive. You put boat in front of anything, and it's going to be triple what it normally costs. So that's having a boat is a costly venture.
Yes.
But it's well worth it when you get out there on the water.
That's why I have my buddies that have boats, and I get to go fishing with them, family.
Take advantage of every opportunity, what I say.
Well, I know you were on Weiss Lake yesterday. Tell us a little bit about how that's going, and I know the temperatures are really heating up. So what can guys be looking for? Because I know we're supposed to get in the 90s today. So as the water heats up, give us a little indication on what we need to do to change up from that spring pattern to a summer pattern.
Chris, it's almost like it just a switch was flipped yesterday compared to the weekend. I caught a lot of fish this weekend in the grass beds. Had some shallow spinnerbaits, frogs, buzzbaits, things like that. And we started out early yesterday here. As hot as it's getting, the water temperature is already in the low to mid 80s now. And we fished all morning, got on the water at 5:30 yesterday. It never had a bite in the grass. And Saturday I caught 24 fish in the grass and could not get a bite yesterday. At 9 o'clock, moved out there deep into some of these deep ledges. Anything with the Coosa River is a current-oriented lake. I mean, when they, like anything else, when they go to pulling that water and generating power, it starts sweeping the bait fish down through these the breaks and the humps and things like that. And it's just like you guys were talking about earlier, deer hunting. These fish are a predator also. They get out there and they're looking for where to set up the ambush prey. And that's one of the good things. When it gets hot, it's going to push those fish down there deep. And you don't need stump rows and breaks and the rock piles. And, you got to kind of switch gears, but it's still a great way, even with it hot. You get out there and catch some really good fish.
Well, and I know, going back to what we were talking about earlier about preparation, and in hunting, and that's the same in fishing. You got to get out there, and you might not get a lot of fishing in, but you need to do a lot of looking, and that's using your depth finder and watching birds and what bait fish are doing, and just talk a little bit about the preparation part when you get ready to fish a tournament.
Well, I was listening to you guys talk about, and I go back to the hunting. It's something that, just like you said, you don't just wake up that morning and say, hey, I'm going to go hunting, or hey, I'm going to go fishing. You need to have a little bit of knowledge, and also prepare yourself, your gear, know what you're going to be looking at. Like this time of year, if I've got a tournament coming up this weekend, I'm going to get out and look around a little bit, and if I already know, hey, the water's going to be hot, there's an 800 number you can call on any of the surrounding lakes around here and get the tentative generating schedules. And so if it's 10 o'clock, they're going to start pouring water. I want to position myself towards that river on some of these breaks and some of the humps that I know it's got structure on. I know it's got some rock piles. So that way, when those big spotted bass roll up and want to feed for that 30 minutes, I put myself in a good situation to capitalize on things that I've done my homework and already know. It's one of those things, if you can put yourself in the right position enough times, good things will soon happen. So But if you just go out there haphazard and say, I'm going to fish this creek that I caught fish in on the banks back in April, it's probably not going to work out for you.
Okay. Well, Lee, we're going to take a quick break.
Can you stay with us, Lee?
Yeah, I'll hold on.
Okay, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back right here on the Road Outdoors in Alabama. Let's jump back in with Mr. Lee Pitts, who's been patiently waiting on hold. But don't forget to stop in and see our friends at Classic on Noble in Anniston, our dad's barbecue.
Hey, Lee, thanks for holding on, buddy. What do you got going on for this weekend? And talk a little bit about how folks can get hold of you if they want to plan a fishing trip. Is it still that time for folks to have an opportunity to fish with you?
You know, hey, it's always a good time to go fishing. I mean, it rain, sleet, or snow, we're out here doing it. So, yeah, it's, you know, everything changes. They're starting to get in more of the summertime patterns and your normal, the deeper troughs and things like that. But, yeah, it's always a great time to come fishing. And matter of fact, I'll give you a little update here. Some good buddies of mine that fish on the Fort Payne High School team called me right before the show. And they've been over Gunnelsville this morning crappie fishing. And these guys got out early and beat the heat. And they called me about 10:30 coming home. I had Chase Hamlin and Tyler Bruce. They went over there and caught a limit of crappie this morning. So this time of year, you know, that's great to get out there and still catch some crappie right now.
Oh, wow, yeah. That's my favorite fish.
And it's kind of unusual, too, because most folks, you know, they've given up on that right now. And they'll go to the bass fishing side. But how can folks get a hold of you if they want to book a trip with you for any kind of fishing? I know you do the panfish and the brim and bass, crappie. How can they get a hold of you if they want to go with you?
Yeah, they can reach me at Lee Pitts at 256-390-4145, or they can email me at leepitts@live.com.
Well, I know, and they can go to my website too at theroadoutdoors.com and see some of the big bass you've caught. And I know that you've got a site too, and they can go to your site at leepitsoutdoors.com. Is that right?
Yes, that's it. leepitsoutdoors.com.
And I was showing some fish to Eddie that you had caught. I think it was last year, and he was kind of amazed at the size.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Lee. That's why I said get him on the show.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if you'd had little fish, I would say, no. He showed me the fisher. Get him on the show. Get him on the show.
Well, you know, even yesterday, I mean, and like I said, hey, I had my K2 cooler pack slammed full of Gatorades and waters, and I thought I had went overboard yesterday, but as hot as it is, and even as I get older, it's you know, more and more that heat kind of zaps me during the day. But even with it hot, we still had a really good day here on Weiss Lake bass fishing yesterday. I had three young men one out of Atlanta and the other two gentlemen out of South Alabama that came up, and we managed to get out there on some of these deeper ledges. And you know, I know a lot of people like to beat the banks, and it's that visible structure. They love to fish. But there's some really, really good fish out there deep that if you'll just take a little time, you can catch it. You know, we had two fish in the 5-pound range yesterday here, and even with it hot and just muggy heat, we still ended up catching several good bass out there on some of these deeper ledges. So it was a good day here on Weiss.
Well, I know Weiss is known for being the crappie capital of the world, but you know, with all the deep the drop-offs and everything, you know, all that structure that's really under the water that you can't see, which is another reason you need to call Lee, because if you don't know Weiss Lake, it can be very, very dangerous.
You need to pay attention when you come on this coastal, because the twists and turns on this river, you can be in 20 foot and in 0 foot in a heartbeat.
Hey, I've got a story to tell about that after we get Lee off the line. I wasn't driving the boat, though.
Well, it can be very scary.
Yes.
Because you realize how shallow you really are in just a heartbeat.
And I don't think that pontoon rental company is still there anyway, so the statute of limitations have passed. So
you can tell the story now.
yes.
Okay. Well, Lee, thanks again for being on, and you know, we appreciate all the
Absolutely.
information you bring to the show, and you know, we look forward to talking to you each and every week right here on Best of Outdoor Alabama. Thanks, buddy. Bye next week.